Hello, everybody, and welcome to a update on the tropics here. You can see tropics are fairly active in Atlantic right now. You can see there's waves coming off of Africa now. There is two areas of interest to watch here that I'll talk to you about in a little bit here. The one that's just coming off of the African coastline, and one that's in the open Atlantic right now. Then we got Tropical Storm Nana there. Then we also have newly formed Tropical Storm Omar, and I'll talk about that a little bit there. But let's go ahead and first talk about Tropical Storm Nana there. As you can see, um, storm looks pretty good here. Recon went into the storm earlier this morning and found out that this actually was a tropical system and a little bit stronger than we actually thought it was. I think they started off at the advisory with 50 miles per hour and 1,004 millibars, and because of that recon flight into the storm, had the recon not gone into the storm, probably would have only been a tropical depression strength storm. Just looking at satellite appearance alone. But of course, right here we have as of the newest update, a 60 mile per hour tropical storm here, and I'll of course talk to you about the latest in a little bit here. But you can see just how well, the storm maintained itself and had a pretty much consistent burst of convection of about 80 degrees Celsius or cooler, right around where the center of circulation is. The center of circulation is pretty much, if not right now, over that big burst of convection there, unfortunately. Um, let's go ahead and look at the National Hurricane Center latest cone on this. You can see Tropical Storm Nana as of Tuesday, September 1st, 2020, I mean, went 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, advisory number 4. It's currently located at 17.0 degrees north, 80.9 degrees west. Maximum sustained 1-minute winds are at 60 miles per hour, moving to the due west at 18 miles per hour, and it's forecast to make landfall somewhere along Belize at the National Hurricane Center, I think, as a Category 1 hurricane here. Sometime looks like Thursday morning, by the looks of it. And there's tropical storm warnings in effect for parts of Belize, and then tropical storm watches in effect for parts of Honduras and Guatemala. And there's also a hurricane watch in effect for all of Belize here, as you can see there. Let's take a look at the forecast discussion here really quick here. And of course, like always, I'm not going to read the entire discussion. I'm just going to read the bottom part of it here. So you can stop the video right now and read that if you want to. They can see on the bottom of the discussion there, in the next 12 hours, they forecasted to bump up to 70 miles per hour, high-end tropical storm. Then 24 hours after this update is issued, they forecasted to strengthen and peak as a 75 mile per hour Category 1 hurricane, and eventually head inland as a 75 mile per hour Category 1 hurricane here. And in about 72 hours from now, they forecast it to dissipate. Let's quickly take a look at the key messages for Tropical Storm Nana here, and you can see what they are. I'm just going to go ahead and read it because there's only one key message really here. Tropical Storm Nana is forecast to be a hurricane as it approaches the coast, and interest in Honduras, Guatemala, Belize, and the Yucatan should closely monitor the progress of this storm. Strong winds, dangerous storm surge, and very heavy rainfall causing flash flooding are becoming likely from Hannah. And that's the English version, and here's Spanish as well. And of course, you can stop the video right now and read it if you want to. So that's Hannah there. I mean, not Hannah, that's Nana there. Apologies for that. That's Nana. This is Recon that went into the storm earlier and found, I think, a peak SFMR of 57 knots, but they're quote unquote flagged. We'll see if the National Hurricane Center takes that into consideration or not in the next update. And then switching basins here really quickly here, we have an active Western Pacific right now. We have Typhoons Masak and Tropical Storm Haisen currently going on in the West Pacific Basin right now. Let's take a look at... Oh, I had the cone up for there, but I guess it's wanting to glitch out on me. But this is Haisen right now. You can see it's looking pretty good earlier. Had some really cold cloud tops over 80 degrees Celsius or cooler there, and some spots there. But of course, the convection has waned a little bit, as to be kind of expected with storms doing this kind of intensification phase here. And you can see that center of circulation right about where my mouse cursor is and the last part of the loop there. Right about there, give or take, where the center of circulation is right, almost smack dab in the middle of all that convection there. which of course is not a good sign in terms of intensification, in terms of the storm intensifying here. It gives it more of a chance to intensify later on down the road here. To go and see here, the latest forecast cone has loaded finally, and you can see they have the storm peak as a 120 knot storm, which, if I'm not mistaken, is about 135 or 140 miles per hour on the Saffir-Simpson scale, which makes it a Category 4 typhoon or hurricane, as you can see there, as it nears the islands of Japan there, and either makes landfall over parts of Japan or comes really close to making landfall over parts of Japan before making landfall eventually somewhere in South Korea. The Joint Typhoon Warning Center believe as a 85 knot system, which is about, I think, a 100 miles per hour, which makes it a Category 2 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson scale later on down the line on September 7th at around 0 UTC there. So that's infrared imagery there, and of course the track for Masak doesn't want to load, so I'll wait for that to load. But while that's loading, let's take a look at IR imagery of Typhoon Masak here. I mean, and you can see how big the storms become here. A really big storm. Not really good. Not really too well defined in terms of a good satellite appearance here, but it makes up for that in terms of its size here. This is a really large system here. Tropical storm force winds, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, extend out nearly 500 miles away from the center here. So a really serious storm, regardless of its looks right now, as you can see as it heads for South Korea, not the national, but the Joint Typhoon Warning Center think, and they had it peak as a 120 knot system, a Category 4 storm earlier yesterday, and now they have it making landfall either as an 85 knot or near an 85 knot system, which again is about 100 miles per hour, which makes it a Category 2 on the Saffir-Simpson scale, if I'm not mistaken, as it threatens South Korea here. So South Korea and the Koreas under twin tropical, not tropical, but typhoon threats perhaps here later on down the line. But again, there's Masak there, and here's a little bit of a wider view of Masak right now. Water vapor imagery, and you can just see how big of an influence Masak has. And like I said, regardless of its appearance, it needs to be a storm. This is a storm that needs to be taken seriously. Rather, it doesn't matter the category of a storm. Regardless of a category, a storm can still cause damage. Even a tropical depression can still cause damage with flooding and rainfall. We saw that with Tropical Storm Allison in 2001, to name kind of an extreme example of that, when that peaked as a high-end tropical storm, but caused, at the time, record-breaking flooding for parts of Texas there. But regardless of a category of a storm, you still need to be taking this storm seriously here, regardless of category. I mean, as you can see, this is, again, water vapor imagery here, and you can see just the vast expanse of this storm here. Here's the forecast cone for Tropical Storm Omar that was recently named earlier today. You can see as of this latest update, Tuesday, September 1st, it's currently located at 35.8 degrees north, 70.0 degrees west, with maximum sustained 1-minute winds at 40 miles per hour, moving to the east-northeast at 14 miles per hour there. As you can see, as of the latest forecast cone given by the National Hurricane Center there, and they forecast Omar to peak as a tropical storm here, and they actually they forecast it to be pretty much peaking right now, and they forecast it to gradually lower in intensity here with time over the next coming hours here, and eventually turn back into a tropical depression here in about 36 hours, and then eventually turn into a post-tropical remnant low system in about 48 hours from this update here, as you can see there. Here's a wide view of the Atlantic right now. As you can see, pretty busy basin right now. We got, of course, Tropical Storm Nana there. We got Tropical Storm Omar up there as well. And we got two disturbances here. Disturbance number 2 has a 10% chance of formation throughout the next 48 hours. And then disturbance number 1 has a formation chance of 20% through the next 48 hours, and then 30% chance throughout the next 5 days. Disturbance number 2 has a 60% chance of formation throughout the next 5 days there, as you can see. And then here's radar imagery of Tropical Storm Nana there. You can see the center of circulation right about where my mouse cursor is right there, perhaps showing rumblings of a eye feature on radar there off of the Cayman Islands there. So quite an interesting feature nonetheless here, which if it is actually an eye, certainly does not bode well for Belize here in the coming hours and days here as the storm draws closer to them. In terms of official updates on both these tropical storms in the Atlantic and then the storms in the West Pacific. For the Western Pacific, go to the Joint Typhoon Warning Center. Oh, I had it right here actually. The Joint Typhoon Warning Center right here. Just type up JTWC. It'll probably be the first search results that you see when you search it up on whatever web page you're using. And again, just JTWC, or just type up just JTWC Typhoon. It'll probably be the first result, and you'll know you're on the correct site when you see all this good information here. In terms of the Atlantic side of things, take a look at the National Hurricane Center as they're their official agency for this basin here. And again, you'll know you're on the correct page when you see all this good information right here. And just type nhc.noaa.gov, just NHC, or just National Hurricane Center, and you'll probably see that as their first result on whatever search browser you're using there. And again, you'll know you're on the correct site when you see all this good information right in front of your fingertips here from an official government agency and an official agency for this basin of the world here in Atlantic. And then for localized weather forecasts, take a look at the National Weather Service here, just nws.noaa.gov, or just type up NWS or just National Weather Service, and it'll probably be the first search result, again, like I said, and then you'll know you're on the correct site when you see all this good information right in front of your fingertips here. And say you live in, I don't know, New Orleans, click on there. It'll take you to the forecast office for New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and it'll give you all the latest forecasts there for your area. And say you don't live in New Orleans, but you live in Baton Rouge, click on Baton Rouge right there. It'll take you straight to your local forecast. You'll have a 5-day graphical forecast right here and a 7-day text forecast in detail below that. And then if you click on the wrong spot and you actually live maybe in Zachary, Louisiana, you can click there as well and go straight to there. And if you can't find your place on the map there, you could also put in your zip code or the city or town name you're nearest to on there as well to get the latest official local forecast for your area from the official government website there. So that's about it for me. One last thing I want to say before I leave off here is that with the formation of tropical storms Omar and Nana here, it marks again the earliest formation date for the N and the O named storm in the Atlantic Basin history since they started naming storms here over 50 years ago. The previous record for the N named storm was by Nate, which formed on September 5th, 2005. And then a previous record by the O named storm was by Hurricane Ophelia on September 7th, 2005, and that formed. And of course, both these storms formed on pretty much the 1st of September here. So it beat out both of those records by give or take about a week or so, both those records by. So a really interesting set of events again, how we have two in their own right technically record-breaking storms here. So hope everybody has a great day out, guys. Stay safe, of course. Remember to follow your official government agencies and resources for official information this hurricane season as we near the most busy part of the season here. And hope everybody has a great day out, guys. Stay safe, of course. Until then, see you guys in the next video. Peace.